Yanko.
She playfully recreates songs that we already know, blending or merging them to become an element on its own. Today, we've been blessed more or less to be with none other than Adomaa, who's going to tell us more about herself and her career. Nice to meet you, Adomaa.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
All for you, baby, all for you. All for you, all for you. I did wait till you, Papa. I did wait till you, Mama. I did wait till you, Papa. Oh, all for you. I did wait till you, Papa. I did wait till you, Mommy. I did wait all for you.
Music is an art, much like all other art forms like painting, sculpting, filmmaking. It's driven by passion. And it's not just passion, it has to be, it's something that both people who perform and people who listen to have to be passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, you won't understand it. So that's music. If once you feel it in here and you're passionate about it and you're driven by it, then basically you are able to express yourself and people are able to understand you. So that's what music is to me.
Now, the first time I more or less saw you in music, it was online, and I believe I saw the evolution of music, and there was Bafira. Now, which one came out first?
The Bafira and Adomaa mashup, that came out first, yes.
Now, can you tell us more about the concept that went into it, the creativity, the mindset?
That went into the Bafira mix. Actually, I started this wanting to do covers, just like we have a lot of people in the Western world do covers, normal covers on YouTube. So, but since I was highly and heavily influenced by jazz, I thought if I pick up a really popular song, because that's how covers work, you pick popular songs and then you remix them. So since I'm highly influenced by jazz, I figured I'd just put a little jazz spin on it and then voila.
Bafira, Bafira, come up and see manifest this world. Bafira,
Evolution of music. Can you tell us the mindset that went into it in terms of the videography, and tell us more about how you're able to blend all these songs together as one element?
After Bafira and Adomaa, we wanted to do something, we wanted to step it up because it felt like the bar had been raised really high, so we wanted to step it up. Then someone came up with a journey, like to do a musical journey in Ghana. Bafira came before that, so we just wanted to step it up a little. So when I got the concept of a journey, it sounded very interesting to pick it from the 60s because independence was around that time. I wanted it to be very original. So from the 60s down till now. So it was mostly a huge meeting with throwing songs back and forth. The selection process of picking a song was like really tough, but then we felt we were able to capture songs that represented those decades. And then we have people on the team. VI Music, the record label, are very, very talented. So we have people who know how to arrange things very skillfully, arrange the score very skillfully. So they just basically put the mix together, and then that's how that came out.
everybody do what you doing. Smile will bring the sunshine day. Everybody do what you doing. Smile will bring the sunshine day.
Yeah. So now tell us more about the people who are in the background, more or less pushing you out there.
So basically, they're a group of very talented people that are very passionate about music, and everybody has a special skill set that when we come together, it just makes everything beautiful. Like everybody has little pieces that they contribute, and it makes everything very. And then after this became a huge thing, we decided, why not make it bigger? Why not start something that can actually rebrand Ghana and redefine, revolutionize music generally? So we set up a record label called VI Music, Vision Inspired Music. That's the name of the label. So basically, we're working together to, front the Adomaa brand. And then there are also other very talented acts that Eventually, yes, eventually it will come out. The Adomaa sound is very acoustic. We don't do digital recordings, it's very acoustic. So we're working right now on getting a solid band consisting of keyboardists, percussionists, guitarists, and if you have any other interesting instruments like a xylophone or a violin, we're very, very interested. So just to put our band together so it's more compact.
Now, what would you call your style of music? Because you know it's relatively unique.
Yes. My style, I think there's no name for it right now because I told you I'm influenced by jazz and the blues. So I'm fusing that with Afro beats, Afro rhythm, fusing it together. So if you want to put a name to it, you could just say like an Afrojazz artist, basically. But there's nothing really like that. So it's just alternative music is the best. I think is the best thing. I think it's all really started because I wasn't really out. It was just mostly started when a friend of mine who's also part of the team has this show, variety show he's organizing, and he wanted me to do backup for one of his music acts. And then I did that, and he said, "Oh, why not be a front person? Why not sing as a main act?" So I did, and then some people started noticing, and they're like, "Oh, Joy, you should do something with this." And then that's how the idea for the cover started, and then that's how it all started. Yes.
How has the reception been like out there for you? And can you tell us some of the various platforms that you've been on so far?
First off, the reaction has been overwhelming because it was just me basically wanting to do something about the passion I had. I didn't think much of it, and I know it's new, so I didn't think people would be very receptive. But it's been really overwhelming. The support, the fan mail, it's been really overwhelming. So far, I've been blessed and opportune to perform at the High Life Legends Night at Alliance Francaise honored to share the stage with Pat Thomas and Ebo Taylor, people like that. And I also performed at Fashionista event and then at the Golden Awards nominations. And I've performed at a few people's weddings as well. So more gigs are coming up, so as and when they come.
So far, it's been more or less a mixture of other people's tunes, a cover of other people's tunes. Yeah. When can we expect your own thing?
Currently, we're already working on my own thing. We just have one more mashup because people said they wanted to see more. So I have one more mashup that we're working on currently, which is I would like to call a Niger mashup because I'm partly Nigerian. So I feel like I've paid homage to Ghana. So I want to step it out to my other home to do something. So after that, then we've already started working on an EP and singles. So as soon as that is done, we move straight into my own singles. And you can expect that very soon.
Here we go. Should we expect any collaborations with some Nigerian artists or?
Definitely. I can't name names now, but yes, definitely.
Who do you look up to in the industry? Who is your inspiration?
First and foremost, the person who I would say kick-started my love for jazz would be Michael Bublé. Because yes, it was him. When I heard his sound, it's just made me fall in love. So Michael Bublé, number one. And then after doing my research, I started falling in love with music from Ella Fitzgerald, Layla Hathaway, Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra. And if you want to bring it down to Africa, Asha, Lyra, and then if you want to narrow it down straight to Ghana, Ifya. So basically, those are people I really look up to and I respect, and I hope to be like one day. Yes. In the music industry, I think being Ghanaians, the fact that we are Ghanaians, we should come. I know high life is very popular and everything, but we should come back to our roots. Like hip hop is good, the Western culture is good, but if we can do that and fuse it with our Africanness, so people out there, even though they watch it and they appreciate it, they can trace it back down to us. I think it would really promote Ghana, So for me, that would be one huge challenge. The fact that in as much as other artists are doing all sorts of music, dance hall and everything, there should be an element of Ghana in it so that people out there, because it will go, music is universal, it will definitely go out. So when people outside listen, they can trace it back to us. So basically, yes, that's what I would like to see.